front, shoots, hit a stick, comes to the line. Lafontaine shot, he scores!
Entering past Turgeon, scores! The Islanders win!
That's high.
Okay, but backhander. He's got
As Sutter went into the Islanders Hall of Fame, and he played very well for that team in the 80s. And Anthony, I'm going to throw this one out there. The next Islander that should be inducted into the Hall of Fame, Zigmund Palffy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go around there. I mean, Palffy played on a team during some dark years, but despite that, he almost scored 50 goals a couple of years. He was. I mean, you could say that Palffy is like the last time the Islanders have had like an electric, just bring you out of your seat scoring winger, and he's the last one. So I loved watching him play. He's the reason why, like, you know, my nickname was Ziggy in high school, and my username for like AIM and stuff back in the day was Ziggy7716. So you know, yeah, I mean, this is a layup here. I think, get the hoop. So I would love to see it happen,
because I get conflicting things on this. Because has Pat LaFontaine been honored yet?
No, he's not in the Islanders Hall of Fame. So
And
yeah,
I don't think Turgeon is either. And by the way, it took me a minute to recognize Pat Flatley, who was in there the other day. Anthony, I gotta say, if it's not LaFontaine, I think it's a yes. Zigmund Palffy. Zigmund Palffy was the brightest spot, just the brightest star on that team in the darkest era of Islanders hockey. And the only reason why he was traded was because of ownership, and that they weren't the best. Let's just say it like that.
Is this
Yashin, no.
Yeah, no, he's not. I mean, don't get. He brought them back to the playoffs for the first time in 7 years after that trade. And don't get me wrong, he was a good player, but he didn't have the kind of like impact or numbers to say no.
Yeah. It wasn't an immensely defensive error when he was in. The first season, he was really good.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't put Alexei Yashin in. I wouldn't put Michael Pekka in.
No.
Although, again, they were great helps to the New York Islanders. Although, do you put in a Jason Blake or Josh Bailey? There's another one that could go in.
I do think they are going to put Josh Bailey in one day. He's up there in, league, games played all time for the Islanders. He was Islanders whole career, had some nice moments. So yeah, I could see down the road Josh Bailey getting in for sure.
I think definitely Martin and Clutterbuck are probably going to.
Yeah, honestly, Martin and Clutterbuck could. I mean, they were long time.
Do you make a plaque for the identity line altogether?
They were long-time Islanders, so it's possible.
Because if you put Martin and Clutterbuck, you got to put Casey Zizekas in.
Because with the Islanders, it's not with the Islanders Hall of Fame. It's not just all about numbers. So yeah, it's about just impact and what you did for the franchise. They were fan favorites.
Mm-hmm.
No, DiPietro won't be. Although that one's not a stretch. Franz Nielsen, he was a good player, but I mean, like guys like Nielsen, Oposo, they went on to play for other teams for another 5-6 years in some cases. So I don't know about them, but Josh Bailey, I think definitely could get in one day. But yeah, Mark, I agree. Palffy should be in. Bailey's too fresh, so I can't really think of anybody else over Palffy that I would say should get in next. I mean, if I really try to rack my brain about it, maybe those 92, 93 team, like maybe a guy like Ray Ferraro. I mean, Ray Ferraro went on to play for other teams too, but Ray Ferraro had some really clutch playoff moments. He had a good Islander career.
I got to tell you, I went to Vegas and saw the game. I saw almost as many Zigmund Palffy jerseys as I saw Dynasty guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, but Nelson, Anders Lee, Barzell, probably. I think I do agree with Chris T. They're locks. Speaking about a guy that was in Vegas, I wish I got to meet up with you at the game, but I was I never checked my messages. But that would have been cool. But Anthony, let me also just set this scene before we move on. John Tavares steps to the mic, thanks everybody at Nassau Coliseum for all of his time there. They raise his jersey number to the rafters. He's in the Islanders Hall of Fame, and all is forgiven. But the year is 2065. That's when all will finally be forgiven for between Tavares and them. I would love to see John Tavares honored by the New York Islanders. He deserves it, but unfortunately, that exit still sits.
Imagine if Lou signed him on July 1st, 2025.
Lou probably could. Lou might have it in the contract. Was signing John Tavares that day to a one-day.
How would that be for irony? And he ended his career on Toronto says no, and then he comes back.
Yeah, well, he'd have to put on a whole new set of pajamas, but that would be what he'd have to do.
Yeah.
Anthony, let's go. Let's stick with the 2065 because let's go with the number 65 that's right there, with the Pittsburgh Penguins favoring a retool.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.